Hello everybody, what's up and welcome back to the Starcraft 2 Ownage Shack. It's David here. We're going to be bringing you another Starcraft 2 commentary. And today we're going to be looking at a Terran versus Zerg on the map Scrap Station. Our Terran player is going to be RainBOwRAZER here, and our Zerg opponent is going to be DarkChiGo. These are two Korean players, very highly ranked. I'm sure you've seen RainBOwRAZER, at least in a few other casts from other people. A lot of notable casters have cast games from him. A very good player. And what do we see from Zerg here? Looks like Zerg is not producing any drones. He has only produced a couple of them, it looks like. How many drones does he even have? We took a look at the unit tab. He's got 8 drones right now. He's going for the 8-pool rush, apparently. This is a strategy I think I haven't seen very much at all. And, well, you know what? On Scrap Station, I think this could definitely work. I mean, look at the size of this ramp. I don't think Zerg is going to have any trouble at all busting up there. If the Terran can't wall in time. I know I've been caught actually by 6-pool rushes on this map quite a few times, and that's part of the reason I cancel it from the map pool. But an 8-pool rush, you know, maybe he'll have that wall up in time. I don't know. He's continuing to produce drones now as well as his overlords. It's going to be some economy at least. Certainly not as much as the Terran player. So Zerg is definitely going to have to deal out sick damage if he wants to, you know, have that shot at the late game here. I don't think he's really planning for the late game, though. So he's got his larvae saved up. Here come the Zerglings. Should be making those any second. 6 Zerglings are on the way. 1 drone is going to be sent out to scout. Terran has not scouted at all yet, despite already making his supply depot. That is very strange. Usually as Terran, you want to scout immediately after the depot, so you can catch things like this. And you know what? That's actually very unfortunate for him, because this is exactly the game you're going to want to do that. We even see that drones being pulled by our Zerg player, DarkChiGo. The Zerglings are now out, and what has he left at home? He's left 1 drone at home, okay. And he's producing more Zerglings all the time, so the scout is now out for RainBOwRAZER. But you know what? He's not going to be too happy, and it looks like, oh, he even tried to get those drones out of the way. I don't know if RainBOwRAZER even saw that, but you know that SCV should be picked off quite fast. Actually, you know what? He's just going to leave that right there as the Zerglings and drones stream up towards the Terran base. There's no way this is going to be walled in time unless, yeah, he doesn't even have enough minerals for that supply depot. Will it go down? No! Oh dear, he just barely misses the barracks placement there, and now he's got tons of units up here. He needs to keep those Marines alive. You got to keep those alive if you want to have any chance of living here. 1 Marine does go down, though. He's got another one on the way from this barracks, but the Zerglings are just doing crazy damage versus the SCVs. We see that all of the units of Terran have been taken out, except he loads up the command center. It looks like he's going to be floating over to the island. A beautiful strategy, actually. Oh, that is so smart. It's going to be years before Zerg has any way of getting himself over there to deal with that, especially after ruining his economy from this. If we take a look at the units tab, we see they're tied 7 SCVs to 7 drones, and, well, that's pretty even. The only thing, of course, is Zerg has the Zerglings, but it looks like he cleaned up every single building that Terran had. So the unfortunate part here is Terran's going to have to rebuild his supply, which does take a considerable amount of time. He does have quite a few minerals stockpiled, though. Oh, I love this strategy. I can't believe how crazy this game was. When I saw that rush coming, I thought this was going to be our regular cheese, but no, it is not. And he's even throwing up the factory immediately afterwards. Let's just open up the production tab so you can see what the players are doing. So the drones should now be back at home mining, which they are. SCV's doing the same, going to be upgrading to an orbital command. It is so fortunate he didn't have that orbital, oh, sorry, that doesn't even make sense. My mistake. It looks like he didn't have time to make that orbital, though. He instead canceled it so he could put down that other barracks right there. But of course, as we saw, it got denied. And Korean text, oh wait, yes, indeed. LOL, my only Korean word that I know. So the orbital is now complete. He's getting the factory. And, you know, if I had to guess, I'd say he's going for Banshees. I think that's the best idea right now. Zerg has absolutely nothing in the way of tech. He's going to have 1 queen, but, you know, obviously Banshees versus 1 Banshee versus 1 queen. Who's going to win? The Banshee, of course. Of course. And, you know what? Zerg knows that, so he's putting down an evolution chamber. So that's definitely a plus. Now, you can always scout this with the Overlord, which he is doing. We should have 1 Marine. Yeah, 1 Marine is going to be coming out. The factory has lifted off, so it is indeed going to be Banshees. He's going to want to load up some more SCVs on the gas there, though, if he does plan on, you know, actually following through with that. Looks like the Overlord actually, no, it's not going to go down. My mistake. He's going to get out there just fine. And the factory should be scouting. The Zerglings are even going under it so it can't land and produce Hellions. I like that play from DarkChiGo. Going to be making sure nothing like that happens. And, you know, Zerg is doing the right thing. Oh, wait, no, he canceled that evolution chamber. Oh, I see. He's going to be expanding down here instead, because he knows he has, obviously, full map control at the moment. We don't have the starport up yet, though. Almost got 100 gas, though. Should be seeing that immediately thereafter. There's the SCV already gearing up to do so. Here it comes. Now, you know, I have to say, Zerg has the advantage right now. With this base coming in at the bottom here that Terran has no way of even knowing about, I think he should be just dandy. He can always run his drones over there in order to deal with that if the Banshees should arrive at his base in any reasonable amount of time. Now, of course, he's going to have to keep this queen alive, because if that goes down, he's going to lose all of his tech structures. But, you know, with that other base down here, it's going to be a tough one to call, I think. I don't believe he should have canceled that evolution chamber, however. I think one spore crawler at east base would absolutely deny the Banshees, which are inevitably coming. I'm sorry, guys. Here comes the tech lab at the moment, and it doesn't look like he's going to be investing in cloak. Without that second gas, there's no way he'll have enough for that. So it's going to be Banshees without cloak. And, you know, that's a good idea, because the Evo chamber is coming up. And one spore crawler will deny cloak. So I like that. He's going to get a few more Banshees out instead. Looks like he's, well, that's all his tech right now. I mean, when you're stuck on a tiny little island like this, it's certainly not a fun situation to be in as a Terran player. But if he can take out one of the bases of Zerg, I think Zerg is going to be in a tough spot. But he has produced 2 queens. So, you know, obviously 2 queens are going to deal with the Banshees easily. And the spore crawler as well. I think Zerg is definitely going to have this one in the bag. Looks like we don't have anything else from the Terran player right now. If you know what? Honestly, if he really wanted to throw Zerg for a loop, what I would do is I would produce battle cruisers. Now, yeah, you might seem stupid, but the battle cruisers would completely take Zerg off guard at this point. I know it sounds crazy, right? But you know, one battle cruiser can easily take down 2 queens, can tank all the damage from the spore crawler, and then rip face here at the base. So you know, that's why I think that he should do that. It looks like Zerg's actually losing a ton of overlords, and he's getting supply block because of that. So yeah, if I saw a fusion core, I think you need an armory to get the fusion core. However, if I can just check there, looks like we can see that the fusion core. Oh no, you don't. He can make it right now. So you know what? Don't know why you didn't do that. I guess, you know, when you get in the Banshee mindset, that's really not something that's top on your priority list. Looks like Terran has indeed found this other base, and he's going to be pecking away at this. And you know what? He's actually going to get it. There's no way the queens will ever get down here in time. This one probably won't spawn in time. I mean, even if it does, he can just snipe it easily. And so yeah, you know what? Maybe I called Terran out too fast there, because it looks like he's doing the right thing. He's even getting a ton of barracks. I'm not sure how he plans on getting those Marines out. One medevac's are going to take a long time to transport 4 barracks worth of Marines. Meanwhile, the Banshee's continuing to pluck away at the expansion there. Looks like he's going to be taking out the Queen. The Banshee should win this fight. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that he will. And yes, indeed he does. So, but the Spore Crawler does mount. Oh, and he's just out of range. He will be able to get this. Will he be able to get the Queen, however? That is the question. Looks like the Banshee's 2 shots away from dying, whereas the Queen is only 1, but he missed micros, and that's going to cost him hugely. Oh, that is absolutely not what Terran needed right there. If he had simply been paying attention, he could have pulled that Banshee a bit back, or at least taken 1 shot at that Queen to end this travesty right now. Looks like the medevac is now coming out, and that should be able to finish the job. I like this medevac transition. It's going to do really well, because Zerg has prepared so much for air that his ground forces, which consist of a grand total of 12 Zerglings, are simply not going to cut it. Looks like Terran has a bunch of units now. And where's that medevac? Oh crap, I'm sorry, it looks like I lost the medevac. Oh, there it is. It's going to be unloading over here with all these Marines. They even have stim. So it looks like he managed to research stim. Combat shields on the way. And with stim Marines, man, he's going to do crazy amounts of damage here. Zerg is so prepared for those Banshees. And it looks like Zerg's going to get a Spire while this is happening, actually. He's got to keep that medevac alive, though. You should be pulling that back. There he goes. And there goes the expansion. Going to be killed off immediately. And running away from the Broodlings as well. Factory scouting here to make sure there's no expansion coming down. So Zerg's Spire is now, you know, it's trying to come up. Spires do take a long amount of time to build, though. 100 seconds. That's the same as an expansion. So, you know, Terran should probably be prepared for that with all these Marines at his base. But Terran needs to think of getting a second base right now. It's pretty difficult when you are on an island, however. So you know what? I don't know. Looks like the Eng base now going down, so he's prepared for the Mutalisk. Going to be getting those essential turrets. Meanwhile, his Marines are unloading here, and my god, I actually think he's going to crush through this. Zerg has nothing on the ground. I don't know why Zerg isn't using these larvae. He looks like he just is banking for those mutas, but versus this many Marines, I don't think mutas are the answer. These with Stim and the Medevac healing should easily rip through the first wave of mutas, and the Baneley Nest isn't even close to finishing. A little bit of an early Stim there, I don't quite agree with that, but you know what? It doesn't matter. He wants to be safe, and he's going to just shred through the Overlords. He might even supply block him before the mutas can pop, and indeed he is supply blocked. And the Marines are now just ripping face here. Another dropship of fully loaded with Marines is coming, and Terran's going to rip through this like nothing I've seen before. Zerg gets owned and calls GG. My goodness, Terrans do know how to deal with cheese, and it looks like our friend here, DarkChiGo's cheese, went rancid really fast as Terran pulls through with an impressive tech switch to Marines, dare I say? That's something you don't hear every day. To kill off the Zerg. A really interesting game. I hope you enjoyed this. It was certainly a blast to cast. Now, in terms of the lag issue that I've been having on my recent vids, just let me know on this vid if this one lags, because I will be changing the settings. Don't know if I mentioned that in the start. But anyways, yeah. Hope you enjoyed this cast, and I hope to see you again for another daily dose of Ownage.